So we always have a little cup of coffee in the morning, and then I thought what we'd do, we'll have a bit of a morning meeting, get together, work out what we're going to do. You're meant to do it anyway, but we don't normally. So because it's just the two of us, get a bit of a plan together. We tried that yesterday. 2 parts what turned up were broken, so that didn't work, did it? Oh no, one broke and one was wrong, wasn't it?
Yeah,
McGann one was wrong. So that threw everything out. One car didn't turn up. Oh no, I was expecting one not to turn up, that one did. The one I was expecting to turn up didn't. So yeah, threw everything out. So we're going to try it again. So what have we got? We've got a McGann. Well, I've had 3 sensors turn up for the McGann, what was wrong yesterday, so hopefully one of them works. I've got a couple of road tests to do. Again, the intermittent ones have been an absolute pain, so we're going to get them quickly road tested this morning, see what they're doing. I found a fault on the Ducato camper. I'm going to put that one back together. We've still got, it's 9 o'clock, they still haven't turned up this morning. We've got an engine management light on a Golf and a door lock on a Jaguar XF. The bloke's actually locked in it. In fact, I don't even know how he gets out.
Is that the fella that had to climb out the window?
He had to climb out somehow. I don't know if he went passenger side, but yeah, he's locked in it. And he pulled up outside and he's whistling me. Go, come on. And I was like, really? You want me to come out to you? Don't you bother coming in, do it, son. No, he's locked in his car. So yeah, so they're meant to be turning up, but they haven't yet. I'm just going to, again, just carry on clearing out as many as we can so we can have a nice fresh start, hopefully next week, because, yeah, we can't get the cars in again. So if we can get it done, we can get 3 cars in every morning. Just put 3 in here. We have gone down to 3 cars a day where Barney's training. We'll just start doing that. There'll always be one left over from the day before, so that'll make up the hours, and we'll see how we go. Right, let's get done. Right, so managed to get this camper all done with a horn fault. That one's just going out. Got a few more bits just need to go and get in. So yeah, trying to clear out the workshop quickly. Let's see what Barney's been up to. What you up to then, Pablo?
Fitting the world's hardest light.
Oh, is that a BMW headlight, yeah?
It's BMW headlight, but he's bought a brand new headlight because this was the old one, and
so
a bit worse for wear.
It's awful, isn't she?
Swap him some parts over. Obviously, the bulbs didn't come in it. This module hasn't come in it, and obviously the main module that had failed on the car originally was dropped off by the customer. So
the customer's bought this in, and I thought it was another aftermarket unit, but they've actually bought it from some fella who supplies these used. And yes, it's a genuine.
It's got a BMW tag on
genuine unit. So yeah, so he's going to build that one up ready for going back in a BMW as soon as we can get it back in. So you've done a McGann, haven't you?
Yeah, McGann's done. Tested that after we fitted the new sensor.
So that was crank sensor, yeah?
Yeah, originally came in because it wouldn't start when hot. So we ran it for a little bit, turned it off, and it's fired straight back up. So belt's gone.
Lovely. So that's another one done. So that was one, we've had to buy 4 sensors just to try and get the right one. The dealer site can't even narrow it down. So yeah, bit of a weird one. So yeah, today's been all right actually, with considering everything was wrong beginning of the week. Had the door handle part turn up for the Mercedes. Little sensor on that, fitted that one in, double checked it, battery's not draining, it's shutting down, doing what it needs to do. BMW parts have turned up, the McGann parts turned up and done. We've got a Renault Capture out there, needs an oil pressure sensor. We had to order that from the dealer, 3-day wait, and they struggle to get it. So yeah, so we're going to get that one in quickly and fit that one on there and road test it. And then I think, yeah, we should be fairly clearish. So, right, let's get some cars moved about. We can see what we can do. So just when I was saying that everything was going smooth, everything was going well, all the nice parts were turning up, Barney's fitted the oil pressure sensor on this Kajar. I've gone out and road test on it. Mwah, she's perfect. So yeah, really happy with that one. Gave it a road test. I needed to warm it up, so I went down. I had to go and visit another garage. So I went down there, left it running. She was sweet. Gone in there, done a little bit of business, come back out, gone for a nice road test down the dual carriageway and back. Come back in, park the car up, press a button, no key detected. It's got one of the keyless keys, one of the cards, you know. So, 2 things could have happened there. Barney started it, took the key with him, I went and drove off with it. Or it was on the roof and it allowed it to start. They shouldn't do it. So if the key is outside the car, it should know it and it shouldn't start. But we've come back, no key available. I'm like, oh, what is going on? So I was like, there's only one thing to do it. Barney went one way, the way I road tested it. I went the other way, up the dual carriageway, and there it was. I've had this before on somebody else's car. I know he road tested a BMW, come off, by the time he went down there, smashed the smithereens. This one's just laying there, right on the hard shoulder, no damage, not even a scuff to the, it's got in the leatherette case. Look at that, nothing wrong with it. Whew! So, somebody's on my side. So, anyhow, that's another one done. We've got a couple more to get on with. But yeah, we're getting towards the end of the day now. So we'll get back in the morning, show you what's going on. And yeah, so over the moon. Let's get on with it. Yeah, right. What are we doing? What are we doing?
There's quite a few bits.
So Renault's done, isn't it?
Yeah.
Focus is done. Let's phone them up. We've got a Golf over there that's coming up with a control relay fault. We came in last week, we checked it. The code was there. Got it back in, it clears, it stays cleared. We've started up this morning, it's staying clear. They do have a fault under the underbody fuse box where it bolts down. They can get corrosion in the bottom. So it'll be worth us taking out. We'll change the engine control relay. We'll strip that down, make sure it's all clean under there. You might have to have it back. If it doesn't play up, there's nothing else we can do with it. So today's Thursday. I've got to leave at 2:30 today. Got an appointment at Lytton's school, but I am coming in again tomorrow. So we've got 2 non-starts out there.
Yeah.
The white Mercedes is done, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the door lock, that'll be going. The Kajar's going. Focus should be going. So if we can clear 3 or 4 more cars out today and tomorrow, get a couple more in and try and clear them out. I've only got 1 car booked in for today because I need to keep these next couple of days clear to try and get a fresh start next week. What we've got in today, what's that one that turned up yesterday?
Dacia Sandero.
So I've got Sandero booked in for indicator and wiper fault, yeah?
So the indicator is, when she turns left, indicator's cut out. And the wiper fault, I don't know why he's put that. She said it's severely intermittent, but sometimes the jets don't work.
But they're working at the moment?
She said they were working yesterday. So, but she was like, yeah, it's really intermittent. I was like, okay, so we'll have a look at it, but
the indicators are intermittent. Come on, they go off. Come on, go on.
Oh, yeah.
So,
see, this is why you shouldn't deal with the customers.
Right, so we'll have a look at that, see if we can find that. But again, right questions weren't asked. So, right, let's get all these moved out. Then we're going to order a head unit for this one. Yeah, who knows? Right, let's get into it. Right, so we just spent the last 2-3 hours moving cars, changing cars, calling customers. So they do say you make more money in the office than you do working on cars, which is 100% right. We've literally just invoiced about 3 or 4 different jobs, phoned them up, and as we're moving some more cars about, doing some more invoices up, customers are coming in, they're collecting them. We've cleared loads out the yard. We've authorised, I think, 3 jobs. So yeah, so now we know exactly where we're going with them. Had an ECU sent off for repair, all that sort of stuff, and it's changed it completely around. So yeah, although we haven't been working on cars for the last 2 or 3 hours, we've got so much done. So yeah, we've now got 3 cars in for tomorrow. This Sandero, this one come in, the mum dropped it off. Oh yeah, the indicators are doing something, they keep turning off. Something wrong with the washers, the wipers, but not really sure. Couldn't really find anything. The wipers aren't parking, that's fair enough, but the indicators, we weren't really sure what she was doing. Phoned her back. So I don't really know, it's my son's car, but he's at uni, so I need to speak to him. I need to see what's happening, you know. So he's phoned up. So when you have the lights on full beam or dip beam, if you indicate too many times, it knocks the lights out. So sure enough, we've gone into it, replicated that, and now yeah, it's a lot easier to find when we have all the information. So yeah, so we've got a couple of cars in non-start. I'm going to run Barney through this Fiesta in the morning, explain to him how that sort of thing's working, because I'll send me know what's going on with that one. And yeah, so I'll see you in the morning, and we might have a little bit of technical going on. We've got a fault on this Fiesta diesels come in non-start. We've scanned it. It's got a couple of codes in it for crank sensor and fuel pressure sensor, but it's also got reference voltage C fault on it. When that happens, that means that all the majority of sensors on cars, like all these ones here, they've all got 3 wires going to them. One's always an earth, one's a 5-volt power to the sensor, so that actually powers up the sensor, and then the sensor does what it needs to do and gives that a signal back down the 3rd wire. So you'll have a pressure sensor, so that's obviously linear. As it pressures go up and down, it just goes up and down. Got a crankshaft sensor, and that just flips back and forwards as it's going past the pickup. Airflow meter, again, as the air rushes past it. So they're all different sensors, but they all basically work in the same way, with a voltage in, an earth, and then a signal back out. So when they want to give voltages down to these, they normally use 5-volt. So it comes in at 12-volt on one of them, whichever one it wants to use, but it's normally the main power in. It will come in at 12-volt, and then it will go through resistors to drop it from 12-volt down to 5-volt. But they normally use about 3 banks of resistors, so they might put a bank of resistors into them 3, another bank into, or a resistor into that bank of sensors, another resistor into them 3, another into them ones, and then you've got all your temperature sensors and all sorts. They work on very similar voltages. So yeah, so they all have 5 volts, 12-volt in, 3 resistors, and then out. But it doesn't tell you, unless you get the proper test plan from Ford's, which we've looked at on all data and it's not on there. It could be a resistor in, it goes to that one, and that one, then the next one goes to that one, and that one. So you're not sure, but we know. So we've just tested on the crankshaft sensor, which is this one. The 5-volt reference is down to 1.5 volts, is it?
It flickers between 1.5 and 2.5.
So that one's meant to be 5-volt. The problem is with that one being down to 1.5 volts, the short, so something's pulling that down from 5-volt. It's either got a problem with the resistor, or it's got something else pulling it down, because that 5-volt, because it goes through a resistor, you could put an earth on that and the 5-volt will go to 0. And as soon as you take the earth back off, the resistor, the resistance is gone, and then 5 volts will come back out of it. So if one of these has got a short on it, or if any of these wires have got a short on it, it shorts that resistor and takes the voltage from this. So we've now got to try and determine whereabouts or what's causing that one to go down. And the only way of doing it is manual investigation, which is disconnect everything that's got a 5-volt feed to it until it comes back up. It could be resistant, it could be corrosion. We've had them on the Renaults. They used to do it on the air conditioning plug. So a bit of corrosion in there, just shorts it out, drops it down, and then that's it. So we need to work out what's doing it. So on auto data as well, this is your pin data for all your sensors. So you've got camshaft sensor, it says that one's got 5 volts to it. Your clutch pedal, if it's got stop start, that's got 5 volts to it. DPF sensor, 5 volt. So is there anyone with 14 volts? No, just control relays, coolant blower motors and stuff. So yeah, so we need to go through our list, work out what's got 5 volt to it. We know the majority of them, or I do, but I'm just running Barney through this. So if I wasn't here, Barney could look at that and go, okay, yep. So brake system vacuum sensor. So it's got a vacuum sensor on the servo. That's got 5 volts to it. So if you're working blind, you just don't really know what the obvious things. The obvious
wings,
things. Can't even talk. It can run through all this. So having this data does make it a lot easier. So let's just show you what the voltmeter is showing, and then see what we're going to do. So we've got the voltmeter connected up some long leads straight onto earth, in the meter, out the meter, and then down to the crankshaft sensor wire, which we know is meant to be 5 volts. So as you can see there, we're 1.8 volts, and that's meant to be 5, so something is dropping that away. So now Barney, on his own, is going to go through, it's like disconnecting as many things as he can find until he does that. So he can have it set up there, disconnect the DPF sensor, disconnect the airflow meter, and as soon as it happens, so he keeps his eye on it, even if he disconnects this, and the wire, which may be chafed against something, is the issue, he'll be able to notice it sort of straight away. So he needs to keep his eye on that more than the work he's doing to know exactly when that changed. if you're doing this and then you're going back down and testing it, and then you come up here, you do something else, you go down and test it, you know, you'll probably forget what, or you won't actually see it. But if you move that and then it went, you can actually carry on looking, start wiggling the wires and stuff, and just see what's going on. So we're going to let him get on with that. See how long that takes him. So this is a Focus will come in last week, got dropped off. I said to squeeze it in as and when I can. Didn't get any time on it during the week, so I've come in Friday. We're going to go through it. I've run through everything at the moment. We've got no communication with the engine control module, so I've got Barney to strip all that side of it out, and then we'll do some testing on it, see what we can find. We've checked it all through. We've got everything we need to do. These switch lives are coming on. So this is your engine control relay. So that's turning on. These fuses are getting lives. We're getting lives down to the engine ECU. We tested it directly there on the fuel flow control valve to make sure it was giving out power outside the fuse box. That's all good. So if we know that that's turning on, that means the engine computer is turning on to allow the engine computer to flick the relay over to do that. So that rules out the majority of stuff. But the car can't communicate with it, and so you've got fault codes in the instrument cluster. So you've got fault codes in the instrument cluster. We've got fault codes in the ABS, all saying they can't communicate with the engine ECU. But it is powering up. You can hear it buzzing and stuff, but it's communication fault. There's the engine control module, and that is transmission, but it's not automatic. So it literally comes from the diagnostic port up through, communicates with all the other control modules, ABS, etc. Power steering, we can talk to that. Fuel additive, ABS, so we can talk to all that. So we know it's coming out of here, coming down here, up these ones, talking to all these modules, goes in and out of the underbonnet fuse box, and then goes to the engine ECU. So we've checked there. The CAN signals are all okay there, but can't talk to the engine ECU. But once we stripped it all out and tested all the pin data, this is what we found. So engine ECU, this car's been in a crash. So the panels will hold it on, which are meant to seal this down, because this is sat in the wheel arch. They're all broken off. The ECU's been broken. It's got dents in the back of it. There's a chance that that is rattled and touched something inside there. So I'm going to open that up. So I reckon that's touched something in there and shorten it out. So I'm going to open this up, see what we've got inside. Could have corrosion in there where that's open to the elements, or it could just be shorted out. So we're going to open it, see what it's doing. So we're going to open up this ECU. These are stuck together. The sealant on them really does hold them back. But all you need is a bit of brake cleaner, and it gets in there, lovely, just softens it up enough to come up. Right, we plugged that ECU back. We plugged the ECU back in, it started, turned it back off, wouldn't restart, couldn't communicate with it. So two things can be sort of happening on that. It was luck, I just twisted something and it was touching, don't know. Or if something shorted on the engine, when we plugged it in, we've had it out, we put brake cleaner on, it's nice and cold, we plugged it straight back in, it's turned on, and it was okay until we turned it off and there is a short which is warming something inside the ECU. It's very, very rare, but we have had it. And normally, if, oh no, because it's got power to it, it could be still. So it could be that, well, we've disconnected it and done that. Yeah, because normally, if come in the morning, go to start it, because it's cold then, you'd think it would start, but the only thing what's different of us disconnecting it is the permanent live is different. You know, the permanent live's been disconnected for 10-15 minutes and then put back together. So you've got to try and think of all the scenarios what have changed since the time it did start to the time it hasn't. So I've got a second-hand ECU, plugged it into it, and now I've got communication with it. Let's just make sure we still have. So we're going to enter it. And there we go. We can still talk to it. So I'm going to leave the ignition on and everything connected. So there is something shorted on the engine, which I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm pretty sure it's just the ECU. It's been damaged and bent and stuff. But I'll leave that on 15 minutes. Come back to it. See if it's still starting. If it is still starting, we'll order in the correct ECU for it, and hopefully be able to program that one in. I think we can on these. I know the later ones are a bit of a pain, but yeah. So we'll leave it on 15 minutes and I will let you know. It's going to see what Barney's doing on this Fiesta. He's found something on that. And yeah, hopefully that'll be 2 for 2. Right, so we just spent the last 10 minutes recording, showing that Barney with a bore scope had actually gone down into the engine and found some pink sort of corrosion. We've got some signs of it around, must be the thermostat housing. We've disconnected every sensor on the engine. He seen it. There was a load of pink corrosion on the fuel pressure sensor. So we thought we'd record it, show the meter, and we're going to get in something in there to manage to get it off. It's a real awkward place to get to. It'd be battery out, ECU out, fuel filter out of the way to try and get to it. So I thought we'd do it live, pull it off. We found a fault. The meter went. We hadn't pressed record. But it's too hard a job to put back on.
It's not worth it.
This is not worth it. So I will show you next week when we've got the battery stripped out and we've plugged it all in. We'll show you it shortening, not shortening. But yeah, that's got a new strip out now. So we can get that back on the floor. That one can go out. So yeah, that'd be the hardest one we could go to. If it was an easy one, we'd tried it first. But yeah, that's sorted out. So it's 5 volt. So disconnecting this sensor here, brought the 5 volt feed back to the crank sensor. So yeah, that's just goes to show how the ECU side of it works. So Barney's going to put his tools away. Let's have a quick look at this Focus, and then yeah, see what's going on. So I've left this Focus on for the last 15 or 20 minutes. Let's see if we can still talk to the ECU. Yep, straight into it. So no problemos. In fact, it's come out of it. Let's just make sure. So it doesn't sound like the other ECU's playing up. So I'm going to order another one. Yeah, straight back into it again. So we're going to order an ECU for it. Get that programmed in next week. So that's 2 out. We've done the Dacia. So the Dacia, which we had outside, that's it down there. Spoke to the actual driver of it, and he's saying that when you indicate right, the lights turn off. So if you've got your lights on, indicate right a few times, they turn off. The mum said that they went to a garage and they go, yeah, I've had that before, the wires are too short. I thought, what are they talking about? You know, how can the wires to the headlight or indicators be too short, turning them off? Weren't quite sure what they're on about. The son had said, yeah, as he uses it, it knocks the lights off and then he has to put it back on. Barney stripped it down. The wires that come out the stalks, so the stalks go up and down. There is actually wires on it for the end where you turn the lights on. They were too tight. So as he's turning it up and down, it's pulling on them and turning it off. So rerouted them. So yeah, so he's put all that one back together. So jobs a carrot on that one. Fiesta, we're going to order some parts in. Focus, we've ordered some parts in. So let's get these ones out. We've got a connect turn up for Monday, and we've got a bit of a new process hopefully going to start next week. So we'll talk about that one on Monday. Yeah, we're coming for our tea morning meeting, and then we'll show you what we're going to put in place then. So thanks for watching. If you do like what we're doing, you know, we are a small channel. We are trying to build. So if you can, like, subscribe, all that, share it, do what you want with it. And yeah, I'm a bit less grumpy than I was last time. So, right, let's get home and I'll see you next week. Oh yeah, before you go, tomorrow night there'll be the Boxer van what we had in with the horn fault. No, Ducato van with a horn fault. That was quite an interesting one. 7.5 hours to find a horn fault. So it's not a 7.5 hour video, don't you worry. So yeah, if you can, like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all that sort of gear, and we will see you tomorrow on the Ducato. Ta-da!